Hi team, it's Jack, the Dorset dog trainer here, and I want to talk to you about 3 ways that you can use distractions and how that can improve your dog's training. So the first thing to think about is the language that you use actually. Very often caregivers will say to me that their dog is great when there aren't any distractions around. And to be honest, if we're taking something like recall, that does your dog a disservice because there are always distractions around. The level of the distraction can change, and we'll talk about that in a second, but just because your dog isn't particularly enthralled with, say, other dogs or people or scents or prey animals, doesn't mean they don't find them at least slightly distracting. So every time you are practicing recall, no matter where you are recalling them off of distractions. And so you should stop doing your dogs a disservice by saying that you're not recalling them away from things that they find interesting. However, that also brings up the next point, which is that distractions are on a hierarchy, okay? So when your dog has a really difficult recall, when they're really struggling to recall from dogs or people or squirrels or whatever it might be, that's because that particular distraction is their kryptonite, right? That's the thing that they struggle with the most. And very often we will put all distractions on the same level, but we will also train with the same level of intensity for each of them. We will put the same amount of effort into training our dog to recall just in the park as we would say in the woods or away from people or away from dogs. And actually, if your dog really struggles with something and it's their kryptonite, and every single dog has a kryptonite, we need to put double the effort in to improve their recall around it. Oh, and that recall is just an example. You can take that for everything. So when your dog is struggling with these things, don't just take the same approach as you have done with stuff that's a little bit of a lower level distraction. You're going to have to work a little bit harder and in some ways a little bit smarter. And the third thing that I really want you to think about, and we're going to be talking about this a lot over the next week, is that distractions aren't the end of the world. In fact, most of the behaviors that we're going to be working on together, most of the things that I'll get you to do if we do work together, are going to involve using distractions as a way to improve your dog's behavior. Let me give you an example. What if I told you that there was a way that when your dog spotted other dogs out and about on a walk, that we could teach them to automatically check in with you to say, is it okay if I go and play with that dog? What if I told you that there was a way to get your dog to engage with you, for example, when you were walking on lead and if they pull you towards scents? What if there was a way that we could get your dog to check in with you before they went and interacted with a scent? What if, as another example, there was a way that if your dog didn't like people coming into the house, we could teach them that actually if they are uncomfortable, they can just head off and do their own thing without having to bark at people and other dogs and focus on that distraction. So I don't want you to view distractions as an issue, I want you to view them as a training opportunity, because no matter what training you do, you are going to encounter distractions. What it's about is not viewing training as a way of dealing with distractions, but rather viewing it as a way of building distractions into the work that you do so that your dog can encounter them and not cause you or your dog any particular stress. And that's one of the things we're really going to be talking about over the next few days. So mull over those 3 points, let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be back with another video soon. Bye!